beats. So,
Wicked.
so yeah, yeah, I definitely got an album coming. Yeah, John
No
Patrick.
dates yet, but is that no certain dates yet or
No, I don't. I don't have a release date for the full
cool?
project. We're gonna roll out a single at a time. We will have a video this week though.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
what's
wicked.
up.
we got
Can't wait for that.
dropping this week. So,
There you go. I'll definitely be looking forward to that. Everybody, make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled. Go make sure if you're not following him and
Exactly.
liking his page, go do that because that's where you get the information on the drop, I'm sure, first and foremost. So go check him out there. I got a question kind of back to the producing. With respect to getting to work with the people that you've worked with, right? What's it like for you? I mean, let's just use that as an example. I'll use individuals such as E40 and Tech because they've been doing this. They've been doing this
Mm,
for a minute, right?
yeah.
And you've had the opportunity to work with them. What's it like for you from the standpoint when you're going in to work with them on a single, a full project, whatever the case might be? If you're maybe wanting to hear something different or maybe influence them in a way that you feel just from what you're hearing, and I say feel because and getting to talk about music the way that it's about feels, right? And people
mm.
are gonna have different feelings towards a track. What's kind of your direction in working with somebody like that to kind of, for lack of a better word, influence them or kind of like, I don't want to use the word pitch necessarily either. Maybe that's the best word to use. You're gonna know that better than I. To kind of have them buy into just like your thoughts and your ideas. What's a conversation generally speaking like with an artist like that? You don't have to get specific. You can if you want, but I'll leave that up to you.
Well, it varies from artist to artist, I would say. Some artists are just looking for beats. Some artists trust my input. I think most people, most of my friends, most of the artists that I have a personal relationship with trust my taste. And I know how I like music is emotional, energetic,
Mm.
right? So the beat is made in a certain energy, and something in life influenced me to feel the way that I'm expressing through the beat machine. So I usually know what the song, I know, it's not even usually, I know what the song is about.
Mm-hmm.
I know what the music is about. And music is personal. So it's usually somebody else's take on that, but it varies from artist to artist. So
Mm.
like with like 40, for example, 40 is totally open to me sending reference tracks with hooks and my ideas. I'll send him hooks all the time, and 40 don't mind. I'll send an instrumental and then I'll send my hook idea. I'll see
Mm.
40's also open to me sending him verses. Like sometimes I'll have a verse on there. Like, man, if you want to feature me on there, that's dope too.
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
40 is really humble, and he's really smart, and he has a good ear for music. So if it's dope, he's gonna like it. If it's not, he's either gonna tell me it's not, or I won't hear anything.
Mm.
Different artists have different processes. As far as like working with Tech, like Tech is a mental giant. Tech is a genius. He is a next level mind,
Mm.
and he is usually pretty sure on what to do. And from my perspective, he's almost like his ear is so keen, and I think he's so in tune that he just kind of knows what the beat is saying. And
Mm.
it's a relationship, like Tech and I's relationship over the course of a couple years now, working on this project. I think he's opened up to me more. And shout out to Black Walt, who's A&R in it and putting the whole thing together. And we're trying to bring a certain feel that we all got as Tech Nine fans in Kansas City, right? There was a certain era of music, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, Tech's early career, but pre-Strange Music, Tech
Ah.
on a label called Midwest Side, right? And he had some massive hits that defined my life, like Let's
Mm.
Get Fucked Up, Mitch Bade, Cloudy Eyed. Like, this was the Road Dogg Villain era. Shout out to Diamond Shield. Shout out to Big School. Shout out to everybody in the 50s. This was a very unique era in time that made us all love Tech Nine, Planet Rock. Like this. So it was a feel for the people in our neighborhood, in our community that we got that I don't think the rest of the world got to experience. you know, because Tech grew when he blew up so fast. When he
Mhm.
met Travis, they started Strange Music, and, you know, within a matter of a decade, became the biggest independent record label in the world, right? And there was a very specific feeling that that Tech Nine blew up in our city from. So we're trying to, long story short, I tend to go off on a tangent.
So good. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
Do your
it's good
thing.
though.
As producers and songwriters, we try to bring the best out of the artists, and we try to, it's about capturing a certain feel. And so I think when you build a relationship with an artist, it becomes a lot easier. And I also have a project with Richie Rich that's coming out. I did every single song except one, and then we have a volume 2 that's going to follow it up, and we're already probably 6 to 7 songs deep on that. And Rich, you know, Rich is like a big brother. Rich is like an uncle. He's one of my closest friends. One of, you know, maybe one of the biggest influences I have in life in general. And Rich and I, our history is crazy. You know, like I'll name the beat something, and then he'll call me 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, and he's rapping a verse based on what I named the beat. You know, and so a lot of the stuff projects is normally I'll have the concept and I'll name the beat something, and, you know, I'll send him the beat, and then, you know, maybe an hour or sometimes a day later, he calls me back and he's rapping to the subject matter that basically I titled the beat off of, you know. So
Yep.
That's cool. That is.
Varies from artist to artist, you know, but the point is it's about building a relationship with somebody. And I think for producers, having that artist trust your taste.
Yes.
And I think I have, with the guys that I work with, I have a reputation of, I got good taste in music, man. I love hip hop. I'm very knowledgeable, and I know, okay, this beat should sound like this. And I think you develop that relationship with people, and they trust your taste.